Hello, everybody. Good evening. I'm Gary. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on our second episode of Talking Red, supporting our Cyberpunk Independence campaign. You know everybody, and they're going to get a chance to introduce themselves, but I just wanted to welcome you once again for joining us at 7 o'clock here on fortnerd.com. So, first, why don't we introduce Amy? Go ahead.
Oh, alphabetically obliged. Hi everyone, I'm Amy. I play Tab on our show, which is Cyberpunk Independence, and all of my words just went out of my head. It's great. Um, uh, when I'm not Tab, I am one of the community managers for the D&D Adventurers League.
Belisa, how about you?
Hi, I'm Felisa. I play Alley Cat on Cyberpunk Independence. Outside of Cyberpunk Independence, I'm a real life fixer. I'm a book publicist. So, everything, no, not everything. I definitely do not hit people in the knees with baseball bats in real life, but most stuff that I do on the show, I do something equivalent in my real life.
But I bet you want to hit people with baseball bats.
I mean, I can't confirm that.
And
You're
any
from Philadelphia, don't you just throw batteries at people's kneecaps?
You know, funny story. I was walking past the convention center the other day, and I heard someone yell "Go Steelers" in front of the Philadelphia Convention Center. I was like, "You chose violence this morning, and you want to die."
Did Gritty show up and beat the crap out of them?
No, Gritty was not awake yet. It was too early.
So everybody, I'm Gary. You might know me as the editor of Fort Nerd, the host of the Cocked Eye podcast, Cicero on Cyberpunk Independence, the DM for Icehold's Realm of the Frost Maiden on the Talon and Claw Twitch channel, the DM for Quest for the Cure on the Team Squad Up Twitch channel, as the Senior Pirate Legend on the SS Failboat stream on the Talon and Claw Twitch channel, and just a regular guy who likes to talk about nerdy shit. So thanks again. We appreciate it. And apologize for the bit delayed. I'm having some computer trouble. As those of you who were watching last night noticed, I am trying to get that fixed actively. But let's have our storyteller introduce herself.
Hi everyone, I'm Emma Wakeland. I am the storyteller and GM of Cyberpunk Independence. I am a Toronto-based actress and comedian, and just genuinely a big nerd. And I'm happy to play with these fine folks.
So we always look forward to
doing like a full resume.
Oh yeah, I sort of got off, I sort of got off track. I just kept talking and it just kept going. It's yeah. But I love talking about our campaign in particular because I think, especially over the last few episodes, I think things are getting more and more interesting for the Pizza Punks. And I'm really looking forward to giving everybody a chance to seeing where things are going. But the thing that I really wanted to talk about tonight is a few weeks ago, obviously, we were over on the Talon and Claw Twitch channel and we supported Jasper's Game Day as a part of their event. And we did our first prequel event to the Pizza Punks. And I'd love to talk about that. It's interesting to do a prequel when you've been playing your characters for a while because you sort of have a sense of where they are and how do you send them back in time. So how did everybody feel about doing that? Emma, why don't you start? How did it, when you're designing a prequel adventure, how does it change your beyond having story armor for the players?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, right? You can't kill the characters, so how do you maintain a story with stakes without the ultimate stake of losing your character? So to me, I relied on using a pre-made module. It was a module made for the Wise Guy setting for Savage Worlds, made by my friend Eric Lamoureux, who's just a genius at game design, and everyone should check out Wise Guys, and adapted it to Cyberpunk. And I just decided at that point, I just want to tell a story. I think that's why people were tuning in that night to donate to a good cause, and they just wanted a good story. They didn't necessarily need to worry about the game dynamic or mechanics or somebody's hit points. So although I try not to make it deadly, I think story wise we played it out, and we had a lot of fun, I think.
Try not to make it deadly with Tab bleeding out in our second mission.
It was just a flesh wound. You're fine.
Emma learned after that.
How squishy Tab really is.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the biggest challenge and the red light that went off in my head is when Amy's character Tab picked up the mermaid toddler and walked out of the and I'm like, oh, she's gonna keep that mermaid. And it's such a tiny little atmospheric thing that Eric put in the mod for laughs, and of course Amy being Amy went with it, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to work this into the main storyline. So
I've seen so many episodes of the X-Files that like you gotta take evidence with you when you find weird stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Go full Scully. Are we really old to be making X-Files references?
Yeah.
Didn't they reboot X-Files though?
I don't know.
They didn't reboot. They had a couple of extra seasons, right, on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
What's old is new again, as Cicero likes to say.
Yeah, they rebooted it in that Scully now pretended to be the the Prime Minister of England, and so throughout the whole 1980s, she time traveled back and was actually the Prime Minister of England. It was a pretty fascinating episode arc.
Yeah, it's true. I liked that part of it a lot. So Feliza, how about you? How did playing Alley Cat differ in the prequel, or did it? Did you just sort of come from the same perspective?
I mostly came from the same perspective. The only thing that I really tried to alter about her behavior was something that I had not yet been able to do in our sessions that we had recorded up to that point. So in the prequel, there's a part where Cicero is doing some shit, and Alley Cat's like, Mike, you have to record this. We have to sell this video clip because, Alley Cat's out to make some money. And Cicero is technically famous, even though none of us treat him like he's famous. So I was like, she would definitely be trying to capitalize on this. And so that's just about the only thing that I actively tried to do. I tried to find something during the session to just be like, no, I'm gonna make money off my building neighbor. This is just how it's gonna work out.
For me, it was interesting because Cicero is kind of on a bit of a journey, and I think especially over the next few episodes, it's going to become more and more clear about where he started. So he was definitely in that big damn hero sort of cocky energy in the prequel, which I think, and I don't want to give too much away with our episodes that we still recorded, but I think people are going to see something change in Cicero over time. And I'm really looking forward to seeing people's reaction to that and seeing what people think. So we have a question. Dee's asking us a question about our Bozo episode. So Dee is asking us about our reactions when we heard the clown audio in our confrontation with the Bozos, and asking about how we felt about the encounters and how they were they gripping to us. So Amy, why don't you start?
I really loved the atmosphere that you put together for us, Emma. Like, I'm not a big, scary thing kind of person, but I'm not like a total avoidant person about it. So it really hit a good level for me of this is creepy. I know it's gonna go bad at some point. I know there's gonna be weird stuff in here, but it wasn't cheesy, and it wasn't too over the top, and it was it was like the best kind of creepy, and like even without like the maniacal clown laughter in the background all the time. I thought it was good. I was glad when some of those episodes were over. I'm like, I just need to go, like, look at puppy dogs and rainbows or something for a couple of minutes.
Nice. What about you, Feliza?
So I really enjoy horror, but as I was actually explaining to a friend earlier, I was recommending some horror books to her. My favorite aspect of horror is not like slasher very like the insides are on the outside kind of horror. What I like is a feeling of being really kind of freaked out, and that's something I really like as a player, is just being very unsettled. I like the feeling of being unsettled, and you could probably tell by my reaction on the video, I was extremely unsettled, and it was very enjoyable, mostly because it's like I can hit it. That's always a good feeling, is like, oh yeah, I can hit it. I could kill it and make it go away.
And I think that was part of like there were like physical things that we could do about it. It wasn't just creepy music that like was just like amping up the paranoia. We had something to react to. Like when the two bozos, when all here is Johnny, when they tried coming into our first room, it's like, oh, we could do something about that. So that was nice.
Yeah, like when you don't feel like you are not at all in control, like there's something that you can do, especially as a group or as a team, that you can do something to take control of the situation. That's always a good feeling too.
I had the advantage of seeing some of the visuals ahead of time, so it wasn't sort of the clown that sort of jumped out at Rachel when she was going into their system didn't really scare me, but that the bimbo clown music was just absolutely horrifying, and quite possibly the worst thing Emma's subjected me to since I've known her for the last 20 years, and we've seen some shit. So absolutely no, that was terrifying. I did not like that at all. It sort of felt like it got under my skin and just made a nest. It was the worst. So
Gary, are you also bad with horror movies, like when they play the music in the background?
Yeah, I don't love that. I think I get I'm affected by music in movies particularly, which is interesting because I'm not a music person in general, but yeah, there's some music can just really get to me for sure.
And I was quite careful too before we started that episode arc, and knowing the bozos and the music and everything. I reached out to everyone and made sure no one had a phobia of clowns or creepy carnivals. So that just goes back to the philosophy of a good session zero, right? Just making sure as a DM or as a GM that you're protecting your players. I made sure that nobody had a phobia. Like one of my friends, Jim, deathly afraid of clowns, so that would not be something that I would put into a role-playing game. But once I got the clearance from everyone, I went to town. And the Bimbo the Clown thing, it's funny, if there's any Canadians from Ontario listening who were 80s and 90s kids, there was a show on CHCH called Uncle Bobby's Funhouse. And Uncle Bobby was this creepy old British guy, and he was like Captain Kangaroo, but he had this Bimbo the Clown that would come out and sing happy birthday to you if it was your birthday, and he'd always have a kid. And he was the creepiest kid. And I remember seeing a video on YouTube, somebody put it up reminding us how awful Uncle Bobby and Bimbo the Clown was. So that's where I'm like, yeah, Bimbo needs to show up in this. So
yeah, that was great for all of us.
Always glad to hear that the traumatizing parts of our childhoods are excellent game fodder.
It's only a matter of time before Commander Tom shows up.
That feels like a very Canadian reference that I don't understand.
Well, he was from Buffalo, so it's that Southern Ontario, Western New York thing. So yeah. Commander Tom. He's who I think is still alive, but anyway. Yeah, that was the atmosphere. The inspiration I got for the whole atmosphere thing. My friend Scott Thrower, he has a podcast and a collection of books compiling his fairy tales. He writes kind of spooky and creepy fairy tales. It's called Fairy Tales for Unwanted Children. It's a pretty cool podcast and a great couple of books. I've completely recommend it. But yeah, he's DM'd me a number of times, and learned quite a bit from him about the use of atmosphere and just the mundane creepiness in the everyday world. So hats off to Scott.
Now I have a podcast I'm gonna go listen to.
Oh yeah, you have to. I think you'll love it. And he's a great author and great storyteller. So yeah.
I liked the bozos thing, and I think for us as cast members, we don't get to see the episodes before you edit them and add the sound effects, which really does change the experience. I know Hawkmere comments pretty much every week about how he loves the sound effects as they're coming through. So it's different for us. And I don't know how Feliza and Amy feel watching versus playing, but it's definitely interesting. It puts a different spin on it for me, at least.
Sometimes it just makes me laugh a lot. I feel really silly because when the episodes air and we're in the chat talking about all the different episodes, sometimes I'll just sit there cackling to myself, and a lot of times I'll be on screen laughing, so I'm just like sitting here cackling, watching myself laugh, and it's really weird. But
go ahead.
No, you go.
I usually listen with my headphones in while I'm knitting or something, and so I'm on the couch and it's just me and my husband's across the living room, and then I'll just crack up and like he'll like look at me like, what is going on? I'm like, clowns. Clowns? So no, the I didn't know that you were putting in the sound effects, Emma, and that was a delightful surprise. And it's like, oh, like just that little extra like oomph, to like drive it home is a lot of fun. So thank you for doing that.
Oh no, thanks for listening again. I Sound Bible, I think, is the site that I've been using some sound effects from them. They're fantastic, and there's some great free content providers out there that come up with that creepy clown music. I was worried I was overdoing the clown music in that one episode. But yeah, no, I'm glad you all enjoy it, and I'm waiting for some nerd to point out that I'm not using the right gun sound effects for our weapons. But
should they be more like pew pews, like space lasers? Or
yeah, that's right.
I mean, I don't think any of us have explicitly said what kind of guns they are.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah, so like I think no, Billy has specific kinds of guns. Alley Cat just has pew pews, so she's just like bam, bam, bam.
And the sound of a baseball bat hitting knees is universal.
Yes, that's very standardized.
I need to find a sound effect for that, but
a nice like whack.
Baseball stadium cheering.
And it's a learning experience for me too. This is the first time that I've edited an actual play, so playing with sound effects it's been quite a bit of fun. It does add hours onto the editing process to Gary's chagrin, unfortunately. But thanks for that feedback. Yeah, that's encouraging. And if anybody has out there, any of our listeners have any suggestions of how I can improve the sound effects, I'm all ears.
Fewer clowns.
Well, soon.
Emma says soon, but can you believe her?
Take all storyteller truth with a grain of salt, right?
There's a poser game. I think that's based on celebrities. I forget exactly what the name of it is. It's in the core book, so I cannot wait to introduce that. And of course, I think there's a religion based on Elvis. So
You mean that's fake and not? Are you sure that's fake?
on that I can't comment on.
Wait, was that overweight Elvis in the diner that religion's messiah? Like,
That's
Or
a good
an
question. We'll have to
adherent?
visit and find out.
We'll have to go back for breakfast.
Oh,
Maybe
God.
there.
I don't want to sing again.
Yeah, yeah, we'll be wrapping up the Funhouse story arc, or I think 2 or 3 episode arc of that pretty soon. I had a blast. I think it was the first time that I think I started to feel comfortable running you guys, and that we kind of had a groove going. So I'm looking forward to see where we go from there. And we have special guests coming up, which I won't break the surprise, but I think people will enjoy that too.
I appreciated it. Like we didn't even know going into the fun house like how long we were going to be there as players. It wasn't like you didn't tell us, oh, we're going to be here for 30 sessions or we're going to be here for 6 sessions. Like we were going in blind, and so like that was part of the fun, like exploring. And like I was making a map in my journal just in case we needed like an escape route. And like we were just as not confused, but like we were exploring at the same time that our characters were. So that we didn't have that like, oh, it'll be fine because we're wrapping up in 10 minutes. Like there's going to be a bow on it. But we're definitely not any bows.
No, and that's just improvising. I had no idea how long that was going to go in. I had the idea a few days before, and I kind of etched it out, and I just let you guys. It's the old Second City philosophy of yes ending, right? So I go along, and we find the funny, and we find the interesting through improvisation. And thank God I spent all that thousands of dollars on improv training.
And here I am learning from you for free.
Yeah. Oh, the bills, the invoice is in the mail.
Luckily, there's the post office isn't working, so it's fine.
And yeah, what in speaking of improv and Second City and stuff, we're gonna have a few special guests coming up that are involved in that Toronto improv and comedy scene, and I think people will really enjoy us playing with those folks. So,
and for me, the second half of the episode that is coming up, so I guess it'll be episode 6. So we did 4, 5, and 6 as sort of one session, or 5 and 6 as one session, and it was the episode that's coming up that I really started to feel comfortable in the game. It took me longer than I was expecting. So I was a bit surprised, but it's not that I was uncomfortable. It's just I didn't feel like I found my place alongside everybody else until this episode. So that's one of the reasons why I really liked the end of this arc.
I still feel like I haven't like found my place like, as a character. Like as a player, I'm getting more comfortable with like the sheet and just how much stuff there is on the character sheet. Like I still don't know where things are, but I can usually hunt them down. But like I'm lagging in there behind you, Gary. Like I think you're doing great. Like if you felt like you weren't at that level as the rest of us, like I couldn't tell. So but I feel like the same way. Like, oh, Tab's gotta like up her game, and like, you know, I guess we're all just really good at making it up as we go along.
I think from a storyteller point of view, there hasn't been any weak links, and I think what's great about a group is everyone, not necessarily, I don't want to say knows that has a role and knows, but fills a niche, I think is a better way of putting it. And it helps that we all just have great chemistry and we're good friends. So it's been a lot of fun so far.
I enjoy learning from all of you and trying to be a better role player because of the awesomeness that y'all bring to the table. I'm like, oh, like they're dishing it out. I gotta like return the favor. So make me
Well,
want to be a better
you're a
role
great
player.
player.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Lisa, do you have a favorite part in the funhouse?
In the fun house.
In the non-spoiler parts of the funhouse?
That's the problem. I do have a particular favorite part. I don't think that I could talk about it next time, though. I think one of the things I did like, pretty sure that this was in the last episode. The mirror hallway I liked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun. I think that Alley Cat and Cicero, like mechanically in terms of stats, Alley Cat and Cicero are very similar, but character-wise, so like role-playing wise, they're not similar people. And I think that they're very fun to have in scenes together just because they have entirely different ways of approaching a problem. And I think that comes across. I don't know.
No, I agree with you completely because, and to prove your point, that was one of my least favorite parts because that was where Billy got her ringtone. I have no skills. I have no skills. I have no skills. That's all I remember from that. No, I think it is interesting because we do have a lot of overlap in how we approach how Cicero and Alley Cat approach problems is fundamentally completely different. So I love watching them together.
Yeah.
I think they complement each other well, even though there's a bit of overlap there for sure.
I love the interactions too because it just lets me sit back and just let you guys take over the air for a while. So it's a great deal of fun.
Give us the rope and we'll hang ourselves with it.
Well, the best part about Rachel not being able to join us tonight is that I get to have the last word, which I always like.
Oh Lord.
I was gonna say between Cicero and both Billy and Alley Cat, Emma gets to sometimes just sit back and enjoy the show.
Yeah, it's been very entertaining. So I've noticed. So I think it's more acute for me because I've been editing and going back and forth on these. But is there anything after seeing the episodes for the first time that pop out to you, like you habits that you do or things you want to change? I know for me, it's catching myself saying I like a million of those, and I edit some of them out, and I get mad at myself, like shut up, stop saying So do you have anything that you notice?
I make a weird face when I'm like thinking, like I'll like scrunch part of my face. And
But it's so cute.
Adorable.
I do think so. I didn't realize until like this show that that's a thing that I do because like normally I would be on a stream and like I don't watch it, but like I really enjoy hanging out with everyone in the chat when our broadcasts are on. So I'm like, and then I'm like, oh, have you seen my face? And I'm like, maybe we're just gonna pop the chat up and listen. So, yeah, I have a thinking face.
They're talking about Talon and Claw does a bingo when we play Sea of Thieves, so maybe that's Cyberpunk Red live game bingo. Tab makes a thinking face is left center square.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely center square is Emma saying
No, center square is pizza.
Yes,
Oh,
center square is pizza.
Yeah.
Well, pizza has come in every episode, right?
Yes.
So
What I'm curious about is how did people feel, and we haven't done them for the last couple episodes, frankly, because I haven't had time. But how did people think about what did people think about the fake ads that we were doing, the from the book? I'm really curious of if that's something people wanted to see more of. Now, I don't remember who asked, but I did write a theme song for Slimy Pete's.
It was Amy.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was Amy.
I was like, oh, we need a logo, and oh, we should have a jingle, and then like we're gonna be building Slimy Pete's empire by the time that we're done with this.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
could probably just create a new pizza chain called Slimy Pete's.
what's he gonna do?
But-
Sue us?
Is that something you could share with us, Gary? Like a rough draft of the jingle? Because
Oh my God. Yeah, I guess I could. Hang on. In theory. Geez. Let's see. You guys continue. I'll see if I can bring it up.
Louisa, do you have a thing that you notice when you rewatch?
I loathe the sound of my own voice.
Really? You have a good voice.
So, I mean, I sound a lot less high pitched in my own head. So every time an episode is playing, I'm just like, oh man, I sound like a chew toy.
Oh no.
There's a term, a scientific term, I forget what it is for the hatred of your own voice. But when you hear it, hatred's a tough term, but like not enjoying the sound of it. I hate it when I listen to my voice. And whenever I've done TV or radio, I've never watched an episode that I'm in or listened. I can't. It drives me up the wall.
And
that also, I mean, my attention span. If I know what's coming, and I know, I can't suspend my disbelief when I've been involved in a project. So yeah, that's another reason I don't watch myself.
All right. In theory, this is it. I have no idea if this is the right one. I hope it is. Otherwise, it's going to be super awkward. Is it going to play? Hang on.
I've accidentally restarted the pizza topping war on the chat.
oh no! Oh yes.
Clown pizza delivery service. Ooh, that could go so many different kinds of ways.
If ever you wanted to figure out a way to get just like your random employees brutally attacked with baseball bats just on the job, that definitely would do it.
All right, I'm gonna try and play this. Let's see if it comes through. I don't have the chat on, so chat, if this is playing, let me know. Because if I listen to it, it'll appear twice from the production end. Well, the whole thing is gonna play before I find out, so that's delightful.
Not hearing anything.
Okay, hang on. Nope. Okay.
You know, watch the viewers be able to hear it and not us.
And not us.
Okay.
I'll be
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's great.
Feel like it's a masterpiece, and we'll just be just like question marks
Like,
above our heads.
If somebody donates to Jesse's Journey, will you sing it?
I still have my wallet out from last
Oh
night.
my God. I mean, I guess sure. You people are savages, but sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Anyways, I'll try and screw around with it, but. Oh, Crucian, no.
What?
Crucian's obsessed with making me do embarrassing things.
Oh, so sounds like Christian's basically a cast member.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more or less.
Yeah, we had a fun session last night, yeah, had a great time, and we got to hear Gary sing at least, was it twice?
Twice, yeah. It's painful. Nobody wants that. No.
I certainly didn't. No.
I do.
People literally will pay money to hear it, Gary.
I don't understand why. It's awful.
the exchange rate is great. Like I said last night, 16 American dollars for 20 Canadian dollars worth of entertainment. The best deal in town.
All right, I'm gonna try and just play it. See, oh my God, Crucian, hang on. 99 pizza slices, warming in our oven hot. Perfect cook and yummy food. It's better than you might conclude.
This
It's
radio
fake, but
silence is
so
my
are
biggest
you.
fear.
Dude, we know you ain't 6'2".
Really?
Come buy
Yeah.
a nice slice
that
of our
dead air
pie,
when we're all
and then we'll
awkward and
have
can't think of
98
anything to
pizza
say.
slices to sell.
Yeah, dead air is my biggest phobia.
I think that's why not like I talk so much, but like on our other like on our Cosplay Tour show, like I feel like I'm talking so much, not necessarily to fill that gap, but like to try and like keep people involved. Like, oh, I'm gonna go do this ridiculous thing, and we'll see what happens after that.
I would sometimes get afraid if I was performing on stage and we were doing an improv show, and even sometimes when we're doing a scripted play, if I haven't performed with a person or I built that that relationship on stage with somebody, I get an anxiety if I'm using a dramatic pause or I'm pausing for effect that they're just going to jump on it and kind of ruin it because they might have that fear of dead air as well.
Yeah, got to fill the space.
Yeah. I feel like when we recorded the Alley Cat promo video, we had to take several takes because both of us did that. We weren't used to each other yet. And we both would just be like,
Yeah. I remember I was rehearsing a play once, and I said a line and there was a point where between the line, like I cut it in half so I could do a dramatic pause, and one of the actresses in the scene whispered my line to me, and the director just went nuts and said, "Don't." Emma was dramatically paused. Don't give her a line. And it's not up to you to do a line read anyway. So anyway, long story short,
you need to let it breathe.
Yeah.
The atmosphere. Yeah. Now we're hitting that super awkward because that's how you doing over there, Gary?
we can't hear you.
Oh, I had to ban somebody. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. But now I can't get rid of it.
Swift and merciless.
Well, yeah, he was selling something or other. I can't. Unban. No, here we go. Timeout. I don't know how to do this. I don't know why I'm struggling with it so much. But anyways, yeah, no, I don't remember what we were saying because I was trying to ban somebody.
And Hammer.
We were talking about awkward pauses.
Oh, this was convenient timing then. I did it. That was my plan. I wanted to illustrate what you guys were what the three of you were discussing by showing you what an awkward pause looks like. Did I do it good?
You did a good job.
Thank you.
I'm gonna make a roll for insight on that one. Damn it.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, Quest for the Cure was a lot of fun last night, and the thing I like about Quest for the Cure is everybody seems to have such a good time, and we're just sort of there for a good cause, and we're having fun. Everybody really enjoys each other's company, and when we first did this, the second game, so pretty much everybody said we should do this again. Which is why it's pretty much the exact same cast we had for the second game because everybody had so much fun. And I think it makes for a really interesting show because everybody really likes playing together and we have the same sort of chemistry for Cyberpunk Independence, which is why I like playing with. I was telling them before we started, and Emma was not there, but I'm like I was just every time we get together, I'm so thankful that I have the opportunity to play with these people because it's just incredible. It's fun every time, and I think if I might be biased, but I think it comes through in the show. So
I feel vaguely selfish. Like I could just be with y'all. Like every weekend or, hang out and like quest for the cures once a month. Like, I feel like I should be sharing this experience with like a wider audience. Like, oh, we should like rotate more people in. I'm like, no, like
No, keep it to yourself.
it's a genuinely good time, and like those are so far and few between. Like lately, just like having that like gold star on your weekend, or like, oh, I'm gonna get to hang out with these cool kids. Like,
Well, hopefully, as we build an audience or a bigger audience, we'll get to share that with everyone.
yeah,
We have a very core, loyal group of great audience members every week. So very
Yeah.
thankful for them that they seem to enjoy it so far.
I always appreciate like on Twitter when someone's like, "Oh, are you guys like streaming on Saturday?" I'm like, "Yes, yes, we will stream just for you because you are paying attention and like people like are invested." And I'm like, "This is really cool." Like even if there's only like one person that watches and like engages, like it feels worth it.
Yeah, totally agree.
And it's like I said in the Citadel Geek chat the other day, even if nobody shows up to watch our show, we get to have fun making it. So it's it is, that's all we need, really.
Yeah, like I'd be looking forward to playing with all of you even if we weren't live on the internet or sharing it with anyone. So
Yeah,
pretty cool.
me too.
So I want to ask everybody about the future, and keeping in mind that the future is a bit further away than what our viewers realize, of course, because we're a few episodes ahead. Is there anything that and this just might be because I have something that I want to share, so if I'm the only one who has an answer to this question, it's totally fine. Is there anything you're looking forward to doing in the game that you haven't done yet? Something you're looking forward to introducing? I know Feliza was talking about how Alley Cat was excited to film Cicero because he's a legit celebrity and he's doing all sorts of crazy shit. He's like, he just was with somebody who blew up a thing, and so this video would be worth money. But is there anything that you're looking forward to introducing to your characters that you haven't yet?
I have a mentor. Oh, go ahead, Feliza.
No, you go, because that's more interesting than mine.
So part of my backstory is that I have a mentor, and we haven't explored that yet. So like I know that like on the show we're sort of like living in moments and like we have downtime, and like there were a couple of weeks when Tab was recovering from her grievous abdomen injuries, I believe they were. So like I'm curious, like did her person show up? Like what does that relationship look like? Like in my head it's sort of like a Buffy Giles kind of thing. Like, start out as like a student teacher, and then like as you've seen some shit together, like you're friends. So I'm kind of looking forward to exploring that eventually.
Feliza, how about you?
Great.
I have, as part of Alley Cat's backstory, she has a lot of humans around her, I guess you'd say. So like I believe after having rewatched the Session 0 episode, I believe there's actually someone who's out to, like, straight up out to get her, who hasn't shown up yet. And there's also some other backstory stuff that I don't remember if the backstory stuff was explicitly stated in the episode, but Emma knows about it. And I'm just like waiting, just like, oh no, when is this gonna be brought up? But I think that the character stuff is always the most interesting stuff to me. And I'm really excited to learn more, not just about Alley Cat's background and her connections, but I'm really interested to see all of the other characters' connections too. Like Tab doesn't really know, she doesn't really remember very much about herself. And so that's, as a player, I'm going to be really excited, really interested in seeing how that works out. Alley Cat has a bit of investment, we could say, in Cicero's connections and what Cicero is going to be up to. Feliza is emotionally invested in Billy, so I just want some messy drama to roll in. That's all. Just give me some messy drama that Alley Cat could possibly just like involve herself in potentially the worst possible way. That's always the best and most enjoyable.
Well, it's coming.
Yeah, and that was the funny thing, is that when we were rewatching the session 0, I know, Feliza, you and I talked about it. I don't know if we talked about it otherwise. It's just there was shit that we forgot that came up. Stuff we said, and I know Emma noticed it. She's like, I got to make a note of this. I got to write this down. That like there's stuff that happened that we didn't really... that hasn't sort of followed through. So I'm looking forward to picking up on that. But the thing that I am most excited about is something that we teased in an episode that hasn't been published yet. But Cicero is the only one that does not have an agent that has a personality. So that is coming, and I'm very excited to introduce that, not just to the people who watch our show, but to the players, because I think it's going to be very interesting and enjoyable for everyone, because Cicero's agent is very Cicero. And I think that is something I'm looking forward to sharing with everybody.
Billy's gonna hate it.
I can't wait.
Double the Cicero.
Does Cicero's agent just respond with K every time he asks for the agent to do something?
I'm not giving anything away.
Yeah, I cannot wait
also,
to develop this agent.
Also, God bless Emma for managing all of these agents and doing all the voices.
The voices, yeah. What makes them
just
so
like
fun.
Every single episode where both Mike and Bill are present is the best episode.
Yeah, we need to get Tab's agent figured out.
I've got a plan. Normally, like, I don't know, Mike and Bill seem to like take care of things, you know, and I'm happy to let Alley Cat and Billy take the lead. You know, I've got my mind on other things, you know. So we'll see if there comes a point when I need to call on her.
Nice.
I'm excited. I feel like we're just like onions with all of our layers, you know, like there's things that we don't even know about our characters yet. So it'll be fun to watch us grow as characters.
Yeah, that's and I think that's the beauty of having a long-term campaign. We don't have to rush those, and we can just trust that it's going to develop over time. I've been playing since the pandemic started. I've been playing a lot of one-offs, and it's also the nature. I've been playing a lot of Savage Worlds over the last couple of years, and I think that's the nature of that system, is that it lends itself more to one-offs or shorter sessions. Playing a long-term campaign is actually it's a lot of fun and quite rewarding. So I'm very happy to be experiencing that again.
We're glad you brought us along for the ride.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been the same if we didn't have this group. I think it really works because of that. And I'm really, I don't know if I've said this, I'm really excited for everybody to see episode 6. Wait, episode 5. What's next? Episode 5 or episode 6? Episode 6. Really excited for everybody to see episode 6. It's my favorite episode so far. I can't wait.
I wonder why.
Oh Lord.
It's gonna be great now.
Yeah, that was a great episode, and I can't wait for people to see it too, and just what we have in the store.
Got a twisted mind, Emma, I gotta say, like in the best possible way.
Thank you. I loved, and we shouldn't be talking about a future episode, but I just love you'll see everyone when you watch the episode, you'll see Amy's face as she's putting two and two together, and it is the best thing.
It's like a light bulb.
Yeah.
Felisa has such a good poker face. Like,
Do I?
you do because you didn't react, but like you knew. So I'm impressed. It's all on my face.
All I have to say is, why wasn't that call on speakerphone? Because Cicero would have looked like a damn genius. Like instant. It's just I would have looked like such a smart guy.
Cicero, this is why I don't take any calls on speakerphone.
Alley Cat, sometimes rules are made to be broken.
I'm sure an arrangement could be made with Mike.
Oh my God!
I'm sure.
I think
you know what? That's a great point. I think Mike likes Cicero better than Alley Cat, so I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility.
I think Mike likes everyone better than he likes Alley Cat.
It's not that
Everyone.
he doesn't like Alley Cat.
Are you sure?
It's like a teenager parent situation. There's affection and love there. It's just they can't stand each other.
Where?
I'm not sure which one Mike is, if it's the teenager or the parents, like, to be frank.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I feel like Alley Cat and Mike are closer to coworkers on the same team who just hate each other, and they're always trying to do each other in front of the boss. I don't know who the boss is in this context, but they're always trying to like pull one over on the other one.
You know, Mike's the coworker who never like cleans out the coffee pot. When
Oh,
it's,
I
you know.
hate that.
Yeah.
By the way, how many offices, kitchens do you think are disasters right now after like 14 months?
All of them.
So our place where I work, they did clear everything out about 2 weeks after everything. Because they were like, no, this is a more permanent shutdown, so we're going to clean out everything. You can stop in and pick up your stuff.
I feel bad for all the office plants that are just languishing somewhere.
My friend Scott, who we just talked about earlier, he works for Chorus, and he had just cultivated like a poinsettia because it was just after Christmas. And I guess the office manager, facilities manager, had collected everyone's desk plants and has put it in the lobby and has created like a little jungle, for lack of a better term. And he takes pictures of all the plants and he sends them to everyone.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, that restores my faith in humanity a little bit, instead of just like the saddest little like window display.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I remember I had to go into my office back in December to do a webinar, and that was the last time I was in my office until a couple of weeks ago when I stopped in to pick up something. I'm like, oh, my sweater, that's where it is. It was on my office chair. So pleasant surprise. Yeah.
So I have a question for everybody.
Oh, yes.
So it's been a month and we've done recording and, various episodes have come up. We talked about who our favorite character was in the first Talking Red. Has that changed for you?
I can't remember who I said.
Well, then.
But I'm going to say.
You just get to say who your favorite is right now.
Yeah. I like Alley Cat's take charge attitude. Like, because someone needs to, like, make the plan happen. Like, we could get distracted all day and decide, like, should we do this? Should we go rescue Godfrey? Should we, should we take the chickens with us? Like, but then Alley Cat is like, let's do this thing. So I appreciate that in a character.
Godfrey. Oh yeah, we got to go back to Godfrey.
There's so much to revisit. If I'm being honest, I don't remember who I said before, but I like Cicero a lot more. If I'm being honest.
Did you not like Cicero before?
Like I told you, up until the 6th episode, I didn't really feel like he had a place And now as the storyline is progressing, I've definitely felt more like he was sort of finding where he was meant to be. The sort of trajectory of his backstory versus the game and his experiences, and sort of now what's happening. I definitely would say that, especially the last 3 episodes we recorded. From that episode 5 and the prequel and the last few. Yeah, that's what I would say, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
Yeah. How about you, Feliza? You can't not answer your own question.
I do remember what I said the first time, and it was Mike, followed by Bill. But I think my favorite character now is Slicks. For a variety of reasons, most of which are spoilers. I think Slicks is probably the most amusing to me individually. I'm also really curious if the chat has answered this question about who their favorite characters are, but I can't see the chat. So.
All right, we'll communicate if the chat. So chat, Feliza would like to know who your favorite characters are, and if that's changed over the past few episodes, sort of from episode 1 to episode 5. So you can put those in the chat. We can continue talking. But Emma, what about you?
That's a great question, and I feel like a parent who's being asked who their favorite kid is. So I'm not going to pick any of the players because I think all of you entertain me in very unique ways, and as players, I love each of you equally, but Gary a little less, which is fair. I think I'm gonna have to agree with Felice on this. I think Slicks has become my favorite character, and I'm not gonna elaborate on that. Although I love the agents. Both agents are probably my 2 favorites. So, bang bang.
Bang. Oh man,
Christian still likes Mike.
It's because Mike is great. I love Mike. Mike is my second favorite now, but.
When we did the...
I can't wait for the audience.
When we did the first promo, it was actually the first one we recorded was Alley Cat. And she had this idea where she wanted to be recording this voicemail message with Mike. And it just... we posted it, and you might have seen it, you might not have. It's just so good. Just the way her and Emma interact. Yeah, so good. Slimy. Okay, so Dee likes Slimy Pete and Tab, and Buffalo Bill, and she always chuckles when Billy gets snarky with Cicero. No, so that's something we talked about a little bit before. The I don't know what you want to call it, the big brother little sister energy between Billy the Kid and Cicero was not planned at all. It just sort of... I don't
know where that came from, but it's amazing.
Yeah, it's something that just sort of developed in the game and has gone sort of straight up. Yeah, it's not... Rachel and I are good friends. We don't have any issues with each other, but it's just one of those things where something Cicero did set Billy off, and then it annoyed Cicero, and then it just sort of... descended into madness, really. There's no other way to describe it. But no, not pre-gamed at all. There was nothing in the pre-game chat, the emails, the session 0 that suggested there was going to be any kind of rivalry between Billy and Cicero. It just completely happened naturally and through the game. Yeah. But that's actually, people wonder about that but no, it's completely spontaneous.
It's just the magic of us being together.
Oh man, yeah. I like Slimy Pete as well, actually. And the thing that amuses me most about Slimy Pete is that we have adopted him as a major character in this campaign, because I am sure that Emma put no effort into putting Slimy Pete together. She did not have any sense of who Slimy Pete was, how important it is. Oh, you need a pizza box? Slimy Pete. Okay, this is where you have to go. You got to go to Slimy Pete's. And now we've made him, dragged her kicking and screaming.
He's our mascot character.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell that first episode when that's Slimy Pete. Totally made that up.
There was like a second pizzeria that we've like completely disregarded or something, right?
No, it was a second chop shop.
Chop shop. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
the pizza,
so the
right.
reason we were going to go to Slimy Pete's, we weren't even going for the pizza, we were going for the car.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, I guess we're going to blow your kneecaps and shake you down now.
Well, it reminds me.
There is another pizza chain out there. It's in the Cyberpunk world. Grab a Slice, but I didn't make that up. That's actually in the Cyberpunk lore.
So I think there was a Grab a Slice right across from the Bozos, right?
There was, or an abandoned one. Yeah.
Yeah. I miss New York City pizza. Just grabbing a slice.
Yeah.
It's like a pizza shop on like every other corner across from like a Starbucks.
I miss New York so much.
We'll get there someday.
Soon.
We'll go on a New York City tour of all the different pizza places. I'm like,
yeah, and we'll go to that. What's that Italian restaurant that's right in the Broadway district, where it's just family style and gigantic. I forget what it is, but go there every time. It's such a tourist trap, but I love it because
the Olive Garden.
No,
Well,
not the
like,
Olive Garden.
I was gonna say like that's okay.
It's like literally like two doors down from the theater where Book of Mormon was. It's
On Fifth Avenue, Crucian's asking?
I think so. Yeah. And it's famous and it's always crowded, and you go in and you order, it only comes in family style sizes. So you order a lasagna. The lasagna is $40, but it's about the size of a table, right? So I just don't remember off the top of my head what it's called.
A table-sized piece of lasagna sounds really good right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
That'll be us arguing over what goes in our lasagna in New York City.
Lasagna is very standard, and all lasagna is good lasagna.
That's
I mean, you guys don't put any weird stuff in it, do you?
I like
What is weird? What is something weird that goes in lasagna?
I like a good veggie lasagna.
Oh. I just give me some meat, give me some pasta, give me some cheese, give me some sauce. The sauce is not a vegetable. I don't care if it's made of tomatoes.
Yeah.
That's because tomatoes are a fruit.
Exactly. Okay, fair, fine. Turning this car right around.
Now, it's driving me crazy. I don't remember what the name of that restaurant is.
No, I want to go.
Emma's gonna drop a goog.
Definitely dropping Google.
I've never heard that before.
That yes, Travis on our CFD stream uses that all the time.
I'm gonna steal that.
It's yours, all yours.
My husband will look at me like, "What is wrong with you?"
We're a bad influence.
The best kind. Yeah.
I mean, if your husband has seen any episodes, he would probably guess we're a bad influence.
Oh yeah. Like when I come like downstairs after a show, just like cackling to myself. He knows. He knows. Oh no, Crucian says that not all lasagna is good.
What?
Wow.
That's very sad for you that you've experienced bad lasagna.
I mean,
know it's
eggplant
bad.
lasagna.
By the way.
Oh, okay, so that's fair. I am definitely a omnivore / carnivore and do not do vegetable lasagna.
No.
That is
Mostly
more
just
for
'cause-
me.
Yeah, more for Amy.
I like vegetable lasagna, but it's not lasagna. It's like a creamy casserole.
Yeah, because it's made differently usually.
made with
The sauce
cream.
is different. Yeah.
White
I
sauce.
make an
That's not-
amazing we call it lamb-zania. Like
Ooh, that sounds
with
good.
like ground lamb,
Mm.
and we make our own like bechamel sauce and get like fresh noodles from like this little Italian place around the corner. Oh, it is so good. And now I really want lasagna.
I somehow I can't imagine the three of us and Rachel sitting down for a $40 meat lasagna, and Amy just pulling up to a $40 lasagna by herself made of vegetables. And it's just like,
I would have like a piece of each. Like, I'm not saying like veggie lasagna is the only way to go. I just like pasta, and I'm gonna put pasta in all of the things.
I'm just like, I'm gonna get off this live show and we're having fettuccine bolognese. So I'm like, we can talk about pasta. Let's talk about pasta.
You need like a Pizza Punks like cooking show, like
Yeah.
like a cook along, like maybe like one episode like Feliza will like make something that you can cook, and then like we'll all like follow along on Zoom. Oh man.
Hey, here is the Carmine's lasagna.
God, that looks so good.
that's pretty good.
And
Well,
then we go
we-
to Junior's for cheesecake. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
You
that's
know
what
what?
we always do. We go to Carmine's and then we go, for cheesecake.
One of the things I really miss about eating in like real restaurants, like in a restaurant, are limitless bread baskets where they just bring you more bread. Just like, yeah, bring me that more bread. I want the more bread.
You know what I don't like though? Do you know what I think it's a ripoff? When you get olive oil with your bread, I'm not an olive oil on bread person.
My ex-girlfriend was Italian, and I came over to the olive oil on bread
Yeah.
side. Yeah.
Do you
And
have to
it-
like really good olive oil? Like, is there a flavor?
Yeah, I mean, good olive oil is better than bad olive oil. I don't go in for the balsamic vinegar. I'm like, because somebody pointed out to me that basically olive oil is just fat, just like butter is fat. You put
Yeah.
butter on bread, so just dip your bread in olive oil, and then it changed my life. But yeah, no, I don't go in for the balsamic vinegar. That's just a bridge too far for this old man.
See, you can't have a good caprese without balsamic vinegar, balsamic reduction.
Yeah, but we're talking about bread.
Okay, but on bread, yeah, no. Nope, not on bread. But
Yeah, but like then don't you need some bread to like sop up the juices from your caprese? So
Just in case anybody in the chat is wondering, this is what the first 30 minutes of our Cyberpunk recordings look like. So we will start at 3 o'clock. We won't hit record until 3:40, and it's just talking about food for 45 minutes.
yeah. It's like, what did y'all eat today? What are you eating after this? I ordered a pizza to arrive when we're done.
to be fair, I know why this happens because I watched Feliza on a stream with her partner this past week, and Feliza's like, "Tell me about what all of you in chat had for dinner." I love hearing about this, and I'm like, "Yes, I will tell you about my delicious dinner that I made." So,
And I was drinking alcohol on that. I had already drank alcohol, and then I drank more when I was on the stream. But like, normally I wouldn't just demand this verbally from people, but I always try to get people to tell me. I won't be just like, "Tell me what you ate." I want to know what you ate. That's very much like, I've been drinking. You must tell me.
you were
what have
having
been eating.
good like stream viewer engagement.
Yes.
You were engaging in the community.
Yes. So maybe at some point, a future Talking Red will be we all get drunk and demand that you tell us what we eat, what you ate.
Yes. Drinking red. That'll be a couple episodes.
Drinking
from now.
red.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Speaking of alcohol, I know our friends from Legendary Pants, the chat has been spammed with the link for the wine dice Kickstarter. There's all sorts of wine dice that you can purchase. It's cool colors: absinthe, mead, honey, Shirley Temple if you're driving home. So please do check it out. They've been very generous with us, and we're always happy to support them. So yeah, while we're talking about alcohol.
I just picked my flavors or colors.
What did you take? What did you take? I'm curious.
Mead.
Yeah.
Now I'm off the top of my head. Gin and tonic. Bourbon. One of the pinks, not the one with the yellow lettering, but the other one.
The rosé.
Yeah, the rosé. And Gosh, I don't remember what the fifth one was.
So fun fact, when we were designing those dice, just complete segue here, I thought that the bourbon and the mead were like so boring because they're just like a color. They've just got like black ink and they're kind of like amber colored and the bourbon's a little like more rich. And I'm just like, these are dice. Everyone loves them. Like
Yeah.
when LP was getting like the backer surveys, and like those were like hugely popular. I'm like, what about these beautiful gin and tonic or the champagne dice that I designed? And like, people love this bourbon and mead, so
Yeah,
we included them.
I
I
love the gin and tonic.
I don't remember exactly, and I'm trying to figure out how to look. I can't figure it out, but I definitely got a bourbon for myself. Both Allie and I got mead, and
That'll be great when your dice are commingling.
oh, our dice don't commingle. There's lots of things that'll commingle between us, but our dice is not one of those things. She has her own dice box, and she has it's made of glass. It's like she likes looking at it at her desk. She's a bit of a weirdo, but I love her. All right, let's see. Oh, here we go. Yeah, we got I got bourbon, gin and tonic and absinthe. She got gin and tonic and mead. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got absinthe. That was my fifth one.
Yeah.
They're super
And
sparkly.
I got, for no particular reason, 4 sets of the P20s as add-ons because I'm like, these are cool and I want to give them out as prizes at some point. So.
Oh, I forgot to buy the P. Damn it.
You get some in your pledge.
Oh, do I? Oh,
Yeah, you get one set. You get one set of 2 for free, but I got like an additional 4 because I thought like we can give them out as prizes at some point. I think they're cool and I like them. Yes, Crucian, you're right. Allie is a metal dice lover, and I'm trying to convince her not to invest heavily in Talon and Claw's dice vault because we have to renovate our bedroom. It's basically it's one or the other. So I just gotta be prudent about these things. As much as every because we could buy 2 sets of every single dice that he's offering. So Lodwook got golden schnapps, gin and tonic, mead, Shirley Temple, and absinthe.
The absinthe is just such an interesting color.
Agreed. Yeah.
It's so bold. I love it. Yeah. They're pretty great. I think you're gonna I think you're gonna love those golden schnapps like in person. They're just so cool. So
Now I kind of regret not getting the champagne.
there will be plenty. Like you'll be able to buy them after, like towards the end of the year once our order comes in. So
And now I
and
have
if only
another.
you knew someone.
I'm still using the ones that you sent me before my surgery.
Yay.
I've got they're the dice I roll for Cyberpunk.
Excellent.
So I have another question
Oh, okay. Hit
for
me.
the cast.
Yes.
So in the very, very first episode, when you first meet our crew, we are playing poker and drinking. No, not drinking. We were not drinking to start with. We were betting with alcohol, but
And
we
were
haven't been shown drinking since then, except for Billy. But what do you think your character, like, what is your character's like main drink? Like, what's their go-to?
Tad like something fruity. So maybe like a Bay Breeze or a screwdriver, something like fruity and not like super strong, like a good like sipping drink.
And is that different from what Amy's go-to drink is?
Oh, Amy is a gin and tonic girl all the way. Yeah. Or like pink wine. I'm a big fan of pink wine.
That's an interesting question. Because I think Cicero in a lot of ways is like me, and I don't think he drinks alcohol. So I think he likes water that's not tainted with urine generally.
Fair like a good basic, like
That's
basic drink.
very specific.
Well, I mean, we are in a bombed out
That's
part of a city that was bombed out. Like, we're in the worst part of the shittiest city on earth. So, I mean, occasionally you're going to get some pee in your water. Just try avoid it as much as I can.
Gary, you're not in Hamilton. Come on.
Wow.
Hopefully there's nobody from Hamilton watching.
God.
All right, Felisa, what about you? What's Alley Cat drinking?
I think Alley Cat drinks whatever is the most popular drink in that location at that time because she wants to fit in, which is not what Felisa does. Felisa drinks hard cider or whiskey sour.
I was gonna peg Alley Cat as like a whiskey or like Scotch kind of person, like
Yeah.
like classy and distinguished and maybe a little hard to get.
Yeah. I think because she's a fixer, she just rolls in and is like, whatever you're drinking, I'm drinking.
Makes it easy on everyone, yeah.
Emma, what about you? You're the storyteller, but what are you drinking while we're playing?
So I like hard ciders. Particularly I like pear, or I just tried last night. It was a stone fruit one, so peaches and stuff, and that was really great. And I like whiskey sours and apple jacks. So
we can hang out together.
There are a couple of bottles of hard cider curing in my closet that I will
Nice.
be
Ooh.
glad to distribute at our in-person sessions in the future.
I really want to try mead. I've never had mead before.
Made of honey. Yeah. My first experience with mead is, have you ever seen the movie 13th Warrior with Antonio Banderas? It's one of my favorite movies. His religion doesn't allow him to drink alcohol. He's like, I can taste neither fermentation of something or grape. And the Vikings like, it's made of honey. And so he like chugs it. So thanks everybody for joining us. Oh, D is absolutely one of my favorite movies of all time. Thanks for joining us. We're going to sign off here shortly. If you have any last minute questions, feel free to get them to us or send them for next time. So what's everybody up to this week? Anybody got anything cool? Amy, what are you up to this week?
I'm getting my COVID vaccine.
Oh,
I'm getting my
congratulations.
first shot. I know. It's gonna be like slowly rejoining the world.
Are you going to be a Moderna woman or a Pfizer pal?
I'm gonna be a Pfizer pal. I wanted to be part of Team Dolly so bad, but at this point, I'm just gonna be like, I will take whatever we can get, friends. Like,
I got Moderna, and the whole time she was going, I was like, vaccine, 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 vaccine.
yeah, no, that would be amazing. No one would ever like I would just sing that all of the time. It'd be like my new like ringtone. But no, other than that, I'm knitting a lot lately. I'm still not I've been knitting this whole time. If any of you are wondering what I've been doing. No, I just I'm kind of like I'm excited about my vaccine, but I'm also like in true introvert fashion. I'm like, oh, I guess we're gonna start seeing people again. I have like obligations to meet.
Yeah.
Cool. So we'll see how that goes.
Felisa, how about you?
Well, last week was real busy, but I'm doing almost nothing this week. So my plans for this week are mostly finish listening to Thrawn Ascendancy Chaos Rising, because on Tuesday, Thrawn Ascendancy Greater Good comes out, and I will be listening to that.
There you go.
I am not the biggest Star Wars fan. I am a very big Thrawn fan. I love Thrawn.
Cool. Emma, what about you?
Well, work has continued to kick my butt the last couple of weeks, and I think that's going to be the case for the next couple of weeks. But I got to edit episode 6 or 5. Yeah, 6. It's going to be great. And then I've been playing a little City Skyline on the old PS4, so that's a bit of fun every now and then. But yeah, it's just work and editing for me this week.
Yeah, it's gonna
Make us look good.
Yeah, Allie and I have been trying to play Outriders, and we actually started a stream of us playing from the very beginning to show sort of everybody the story as we're playing, and we build it as watch us bicker our way through this game to try and get people to watch. So we're going to try and do that on Wednesday, and then we're doing it on Thursday again with Talon and Claw, I think. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Now that Quest for the Cure is over, I feel like my life is mine again. So I feel much more relaxed.
What is Outriders, and how do I not know about you bickering with Allie where I can watch you?
So Outriders is a third-person shooter game, kind of like Tomb Raider, set in the future where it's just you're on a planet, an alien planet, and you're trying to save humanity because the Earth died and they've all gone here, and you have fantastic powers because the alien planet is all sorts of weird. Yeah, we really like it.
Delightful.
Yeah, we've been playing it together. We've been playing it with our friend Anthony from Talon and Claw. We just playing it a ridiculous amount. So, but before we go, there's a couple announcements that I do want to make. So the link again before we go for the Kickstarter for Legendary Pants is in the chat, and the Kickstarter for Talon and Claws. So they're doing actually two things with this Kickstarter. One, they're doing 11-piece dice vaults with 14 different kinds of precious stones. And they're doing 11-piece council dice vaults. So they were originally doing council of 7 dice vaults for your 7-piece polyhedral dice sets. Well, now they're doing 11. So that's launching on Friday. I would encourage you to check that out because they're awesome, and their stuff is something I'm obsessed with. So I have my hex vault here that I use for Quest for the Cure. So grateful to them always for their friendship. And yeah, that's what we got going on. So we look forward to seeing you next week for episode 6, which is my personal favorite episode. So I hope you tune in, and thanks very much for joining us today. We always really like talking to you about our campaign. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.